You can actually load film simulations into your Canon camera. And that's it. That's the only reason to buy the old Canon cameras right now. Yeah, so what I have here is the Canon M200. This was released in 2019. This is a very compact aps-c camera, as you can tell from the sensor. Noise. I have it in white because when I purchased it, it was cheap. The camera shop was closing down and I got it for half price. I initially got this because I just want to take photos and have a spare cam on the side if I wanted to shoot any like interviews and stuff. Because this does shoot 4K, except that it has a crop, a 1.7 crop, which is pretty large. But I had a speed booster with other Canon cameras with Canon lenses. Anyway, so more about the specs. I'm just gonna read off from here. This particular camera, 24 megapixel aps-c sensor with dual pixel autofocus, Digic 8 processor, face and eye detect autofocus, 4K with a huge 1.7 crop, 3-inch tilting screen that you have here. Woohoo, look at that. Yes, 6 frames per second burst shooting. Of course, you have your typical Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to connect to your phone or wherever they need to connect using the Canon app, so that's cool. I've been holding off from talking about this particular camera for quite a long while because I've been quite busy with a lot of things and I have no idea what to say about this camera except that not a lot of people actually talk about this, but you can load film simulations into your Canon camera. So you have 3 custom profiles. As you can tell, I have loaded up 3 film simulations: Fuji, Astrea, Kodachrome, and my favorite, Agfa. Not a lot of people actually talk about Agfa, but yeah, it's an old film thing, and yeah, I really love it. So there's this Canon utility picture profile that you can download for your desktop that you can use to actually load film simulations. Technically, it's a PF2 file, which is a picture file which you can just load into your camera. There is a way to save a lot as a PF2 file. I totally forgot how to do it, but I've done it. That's why I have my film simulations. But if you're too lazy to do that, you can always just Google PF2 file film simulation Fuji or something and just download it and just load it into your camera, and that's it. Because this is quite old camera, relatively old, it does not do too well in low light for video. Okay, so this is basically at night with monitor. If I'm facing away from monitor without the light, obviously it's not going to be that good. You can see a lot of grain. So in low light, this camera doesn't do too well, but if you have proper lighting, maybe during the daytime, it'll actually look quite sharp, pretty nice. So I'm not sure whether you can actually use this for vlogging. You can if you're shooting mostly in the daytime, but if you're shooting indoors or at night, it's not that great because the ISO quality is not that great. So you can actually load up film simulations. Right now it's on some Agfa thing that I loaded in a long time ago, and yeah, it's really up to you. For photos, it's kind of fine because you just lower your shutter speed and you'll be fine. But for video in low light, it's not really that great. But daytime is totally fine. I have brought this along for a couple of holidays and it has done pretty well. I typically have my pancake lens, as you can see here. But aside from that, you actually do have your kit lens, which is this one here. You have to press it and then you can close it up. And with that, you can't unlock it unless you open or press this unlatch it so you can open, which is quite a cool design. I mean, the whole main purpose of the EOS-M line is to keep it compact. And a bit of history on this is one of Canon's test beds on mirrorless cameras. This sold a lot of EOS-M cameras in Japan, especially the Canon M50, Mark 1, Mark 2, and M200 right here. The unfortunate thing is that they did not expand the lens lineup for this, so not a lot of people really bought into it because there's only like very few lenses. Like there's pancake lens, there are 3 kit lenses and a couple of Sigma primes, and that is it. there were quite a number of people who actually liked this whole light and small setup. It's very compact, but because of the battery and the other internals, it does feel quite heavy. By comparisons to DSLRs back then, it's pretty light. Yeah, so that's a very small history. And additional thing, obviously they kind of discontinued this in favor of the RF mount. Okay, so how about the ports? So on the side, you have a HDMI and a USB-C port and an SD card slot. You do not have any mic jacks because I have no idea why they did not. They did not bother. And another thing is that they actually did have a flash. Ta-da! Hello. I do not use a flash at all because it's quite dinky. It doesn't make a huge difference in anything. But yeah, so just to recap, this is a pretty old camera. If you actually just want to take photos and you actually find this on a huge second-hand discount, you should buy it because it works well. If you had the money or had the choice, get an M6 Mark II. That is spectacular. But this M200 is way smaller. Yeah. So just for photos, it's great. For videos, it's decent. In daylight, at low light, it's not that great. Yeah. So that's about it. Technically, I just wanted to make a video about the M200 and how you can just use film simulations, but there's nothing much to it. Google PF2 files, load it into your camera, and go out and take photos. Well, thanks for watching this video, and do leave a comment on whether you're still using a EOS M camera, or have you just upgraded to something else, or if you're looking for EOS M camera as well. Honestly, just for photos, this is great. But videos, just use your iPhone. Thank you guys. See you guys next time. Ciao.